Hello, guys, I hope you're good. Welcome to Vision Panorama. Welcome to the home of illumination. My name is Caleb or Caleb, and I'm here to bring you today's episode. Today's episode is a very special one that is really dear to my heart, and I know is dear to your heart as well. Today's episode is about communication. We all know the importance of communication. One way or the other, we are all exposed to it, whether it's us doing the communication or it's us receiving the communication. A couple of years ago, when I walked into the university for the very first time, I'm not gonna lie, I felt really special. I felt like my status had been elevated. I felt like I am now on a whole new level as compared to high school. I felt like I'm finally part of the big boys. I'm going to learn new things, big things. I'm going to be using big words, big vocabs, and so on and so forth. So that gave me a unique feeling. It gave me a sense of uniqueness. And so in my very first week, I walked into this class, and it was a class on how to write academic papers. And so this was a class that was supposed to prepare us to write our thesis in the next years to come. And our lecturer said something that was really shocking at the very beginning. And he said that a 12-year-old who has no prior knowledge on the topic we are writing on should be able to read the paper and understand it. And I was like, huh? Is this some kind of a joke? What do you mean a 12-year-old should be able to read it and understand it? I thought we've come to university. I thought here is where we learn those big things and use those big words and vocabs. And now you are telling me that a 12-year-old should be able to understand what I'm writing? It made absolutely no sense to me at that point. But as times went on, I understood what it actually meant. Because at the end of the day, the papers we were writing was not actually for us, nor was it even for our professors. It was for the general public. So the papers were supposed to be tailored or written in a way that the people we are writing to will understand what we've written. Because if they can't understand what we've written, they cannot be impacted by the papers we've written. And that is the same thing with communication. When we are communicating, one reflex we have to always make is that the people that we are speaking to are the most important. So we need to bring the message in a way that will be understandable to them. Otherwise, the message will have no impact. And that is why the likes of President Donald Trump are having so much success. That is why he became president in the first place, and he's still president till now. If you look at President Trump, for example, not talking about his policies or something, but just the way he speaks, the way he communicates in a way that the average person on the streets will understand him. The simplicity in his communication is something that people can relate to, so people understand him anytime he speaks. And that was a huge part of his success. And so anytime we are communicating, one of the important things is that we know that it is not about us doing the communication, but it's about the people that we are communicating to. So when you are speaking to an audience, you need to present the message in a way that the least amongst the people you are speaking to will understand what you are saying. Otherwise, you make all kinds of impressions, but at the end of the day, there will be no impact. Because you made it all about yourself and how intelligent you are and how deep you are, how intellectual you are. You just come and use all these big, complex, abstract words. At the end of the day, you will make a good impression, but there will be no tangible impact because the people you were speaking to did not understand a word of what you said. And so the message that was supposed to have an impact on their lives, bring a kind of transformation, you've ended up wasting their time. Because we see a lot of people that speak to people, and the way they are presenting the message is like they don't have it in their mind that they are speaking to people, and that the most important thing is that the people you are speaking to will understand. It is not about how, deep you are and how eloquent you are and how, intellectual you are. It's about the people understanding the message, because they cannot do anything with the message if they don't understand it. I see preachers, I see speakers, they stand before congregations, audiences to speak, And the way they speak, the way they present their messages, it's as though they are speaking to themselves. They don't have the people in their minds. When they are speaking, they want to sound so deep. They want to sound so intellectual. They want you to know that, yes, they are highly educated. They want you to know that, yes, they have this and that degree and they carry this certificate. They are there to, present it in a way that you will be impressed by how they speak. It even comes across as intimidating. The people you are speaking to at the end of the day, they will not even be able to relate or connect with you. You create this gap and distance between you and the people you are talking to. So at the end of the day, the message that you brought was in vain. It was useless, because the people that were supposed to listen to your message and be impacted by it, they couldn't understand a word of what you said. Any communication is supposed to be heard and understood. It doesn't matter how complicated the message you are bringing is, there is always a way to present it that even the least will understand. Okay, even the most complicated of issues, the most complicated of things can be explained in a way that everybody will understand, from the least to the greatest. That is a reflex that we have to make in all our communications. So we always have to have it in the back of our minds, the people we are communicating to, and the importance of them understanding the message we are bringing. That should shape the consciousness of every communication, because when we are talking to people and they don't understand what we are saying, then our communication is in vain and it will have no substantial impact in their lives. There will be no tangible impact. I don't always think about it, because sometimes I say things and then I later on find out that this thing I said, when I was saying it, I wasn't really thinking of how the people will understand it. I just said it how I know it. Sometimes after communicating, I'll just reflect on my communication and I'll ask myself, did the people understand what I said? Or maybe I presented it too complicated. Maybe there was a better and an easier way to have presented that message. It is a reflex I try to do, or I try to incorporate in my life. If you want your message to have impact, the people listening to you will have to understand what you are saying. Otherwise, your message will have no impact. It would be useless and it will be in vain. And so to every speaker, anyone that stands before an audience to speak, whether you are giving a speech, whether you are standing before a congregation to preach, always have it in the back of your mind that the people you are speaking to, they are the most important. Them understanding the message you are bringing is the most important, because for the message to have impact, they will have to understand it. Without understanding, there will be no impact. And so understanding comes with you presenting it in a way that they will understand it. So you look at your audience and then you look at the very least in the audience and you present your message in a way that the very least will understand, because if the very least can understand the message, then obviously the great will be able to understand it as well. But if you present it in a very high-minded, deep, quote-unquote deep intellectual way, using big abstract words, yes, the high-minded or the intellectuals will be able to understand it, but then you lose a whole group who are not able to understand it. So yeah, just think about it. In any form of communication you do, it's a reflex that we all need to make. Let me know in the comment section what you think about it. This was today's episode. Keep liking, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not subscribed. Vision Panorama is also on Instagram by the name Vision Panorama Official. So do well to check out my Instagram page as well. This was it for today. See you in the next one.